Sophie Cunningham's response to all this, in terms of her tweets, like, if you guys didn't see Sophie Cunningham's retweets, Sophie Cunningham obviously responded with the shrug Instagram post, but has responded to the petition by just retweeting a freaking post about her jersey being sold out. That is a response. That is quote tweeting the petition. Like, that is the best way of going about it.
They launched a petition to ban Sophie Cunningham like she was the WNBA's ultimate supervillain. Her response? Not even close to an apology. More like a highlight reel drenched in swagger. If you expected tears, forget it. She showed up with receipts, a fierce attitude, and a mic drop that shook the league. This wasn't damage control. It was a masterclass in bold, unapologetic brilliance. Cancel culture came swinging, and Sophie turned it into a showstopper. You won't believe how she flipped the script.
I need to talk about this right here. So yesterday's game was obviously funny. Yesterday's game was obviously crazy. But have you guys not seen the petition? The petition, lads. So if you guys didn't see, obviously, there is the Dallas Wings fan page. Take the All-Star game out of Indiana. I'm serious. This is about player safety. Dude, don't worry. Neither JC or Marina is making the All-Star team. Players will be safe. The only player on the Dallas Wings that's going to make the All-Star team is...
She laughed mid-lunge and retweeted it like it was fan mail, because Sophie Cunningham isn't just unbothered. She's thriving on the drama like it's her pre-game protein shake. They tried to cast her as the villain in some overblown basketball melodrama, and she leaned in with a calm, "You called." This isn't a redemption arc. It's a full-throttle comeback, sprinkled with glitter, and finished off with a ruthless crossover.
All-Star break in Indiana, and I'm like, man, Dejanay Carrington needs to work her way back into the starting lineup for the worst team in the WNBA before she even thinks about being an All-Star this year. But yeah, it is hilarious. It is absolutely...
And that tweet, she didn't just retweet it, she anointed it like a royal decree from the reigning queen of petty. It was the online version of cracking her knuckles and saying, "Let's dance." If you thought she'd crumble under the weight of public outrage, you clearly haven't been paying attention. Sophie Cunningham doesn't fold. She claps back with rhythm, heat, and a side eye so precise it deserves its own highlight reel.
Now everybody knows who Sophie Cunningham is. Everybody wants a piece of Sophie Cunningham. Her jersey is the #1 selling jersey in the WNBA. Sold out. Now, why is that significant? I'll tell you. Because her jersey surpassed the all-time woman, Caitlin Clark. The most popular woman ever in the WNBA, Caitlin Clark, got her jersey surpassed by Sophie Cunningham. Why? Because Sophie Cunningham stood up for...
The petition reads like a masterclass in pearl-clutching drama, fans screeching for bans like it's a dystopian spin on American Idol, where confidence gets you canceled instead of crowned. But let's be clear. Sophie isn't reckless. She's responsive. There's a difference between chaos and consequence, and people seem to lose sight of that when she gets physical. She's rarely the one to start it. She's just the one who finishes it, with interest and a dash of extra heat.
See, so I'm not the only one that feels this way. I'm not the only one that feels this way. I'm just saying. Sophie Cunningham stood on business. So all these damn petitions and all these little stupid things they're trying to do, these little freaking fines, we don't care about none of that. Now, just like Rachel said, your boy John Liquidator, I'm not condoning any violence whatsoever. But what I can tell you is that Sophie Cunningham stood on business and did the human thing to do.
Mess with her teammates and Sophie goes medieval. One wrong move and she's charging in like a freight train fueled by loyalty and fire. It's not about fouls. It's about family. The league can argue rules, but Sophie makes statements, not excuses. Suddenly, she's the WNBA's most unlikely fan favorite, not for the Caitlin Clark diehards, but for everyone else. She's the anti-hero we didn't know we needed. Linebacker grit, mean-level wit, and zero patience for double standards. They tried to shut her down, but she turned into a headline machine with a highlight reel of retaliation. She's not bitter. She's just done watching the media tear her teammate apart. Now, she's speaking loud enough for everyone to hear.
Everybody knows who Sophie Cunningham is. Everybody wants a piece of Sophie Cunningham. Her jersey is the #1 selling jersey in the WNBA. Sold out. Now, why is that significant? I'll tell you. Because her jersey surpassed the all-time woman, Caitlin Clark. The most popular woman ever in the WNBA, Caitlin Clark, got her jersey surpassed by Sophie Cunningham. Why? Because Sophie Cunningham stood up for Caitlin Clark.
The double standards couldn't be more obvious. When Fever players get physical, it's called passion. But when Sophie clears space with a shoulder, suddenly it's a scandal. Sheldon lowers her shoulder into Sophie, just competitive spirit. Sophie responds, and the timeline treats it like a crime. Let's be clear. Sheldon came in like a wrecking ball. Sophie took the hit and answered the way any enforcer would, with controlled force. That's not aggression. It's balance. Sophie never asked to be the league's rebel. She just wanted fair calls and equal treatment. But when the bias wouldn't budge, she stopped waiting and started fighting back.
Whose jersey sold out today? The one and only Sophie Cunningham, aka the Enforcer and Caitlin Clark's bodyguard. Sophie Cunningham defended the face of basketball, and America was in love. I've honestly never seen so many people agree on one thing on Twitter, and they did last night. And also realizing that you wouldn't want to fight Sophie Cunningham after seeing this.
Off the court, Sophie's been roasting critics like a comic on a mission. That retweet was just the warm-up. Now her feed is a highlight reel of clapbacks, eye rolls, and sharp one-liners. She's not just responding, she's setting the standard for anyone tired of being called the villain for simply pushing back. And it's landing. Fans are wearing her jersey, turning her plays into TikToks, and backing her like she's the truth the game's been missing. Sophie's not just an athlete, she's a movement. No PR team need it. She is the backlash. While critics spiral, she gets louder. Every clip of her fire gets reposted like a blockbuster trailer. Every game now feels like a battle between people who get it, and those still pearl clutching over a woman playing defense with passion.
I am sorry, bro. That was honorable what she had done for Caitlin, bro. What did Rachel Dementa say? What did Rachel say about this?
If the refs are not going to do their job, the players are going to have to be the enforcers themselves. This game was chippy from the beginning, and the refs did not do their job. JC Sheldon.
Sophie's not out here throwing elbows for attention. She's protecting her own. When Caitlin took the hits, Sophie stepped in. She saw the cheek shots, the silence, the missed calls, and said, "Not happening." Maybe it got physical. Maybe it had to. Her message? Push us, we push back harder. In the middle of the noise, Sophie became the WNBA's new symbol of unapologetic power, not by asking for it, but by earning it. She didn't start the fire, but she learned to thrive in it. You can't cancel someone who's already owning the villain role. Sophie leaned in, made it her brand, and now the people who wanted her gone are watching her rise. Let them sign the petition. Every protest just adds to her momentum. She's not just surviving the storm, she's running the show. And she's only getting started.
And how she ain't got 1 million followers or more by now. I've never really had an opinion on NBA or WNBA because I've just never cared to watch it. It's always been boring. Since Caitlin Clark, it has been interesting to watch. And now Sophie Cunningham, she don't play about her teammate. These girls, this combo makes it so worth watching. I heard she's a black belt too. What you gonna do about it? What you gonna do about it? You go, girl. Everybody go follow Sophie. Maybe one day I'll get to...
All game, folks. All game. Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever were getting checked. All game. The Indiana Fever were getting punked. All game. The referees let this physical style of basketball continue and continue and continue and continue and continue and continue. And eventually, Sophie Cunningham had enough. Oh yeah. Sophie Cunningham had enough, folks. Shout out to Sophie Cunningham. We wanted somebody like this that said, I'm tired of this. I'm trying to step up. It's time to step up. We're not going to get punked anymore. We're not going to get pushed around anymore. We're not going to get treated like a little sister anymore, like a little brother anymore. We are going to start being the ones that say, you know what? We're not going to start the fight, but we damn sure will finish the fight.